Hey everyone, Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and welcome to another video. Today we're heading off into the Stanley Forest again, which for those that don't know is just south of the town of Commander, close to the town of Stanley, and just northeast of Beechworth. It's not a huge area, but there's a lot of tracks in there, so plenty of exploring still to be done. I've got the family with me today, and we're just exploring a few tracks and getting some footage and enjoying a day out in the forest. Actually, the plan is to head through to the Magic Forest, which is quite a special part of the Stanley Forest, and then from there on to Woolshed Falls and the Eldorado Dredge. So starting off with some fairly easy going tracks here. Just running the tyres today at 24 psi in the rear and 22 psi in the front. For an area that you don't think of as being particularly steep, there's still some tracks that have got some reasonable climbs on them if you look in the right parts of the Stanley Forest, and certainly obviously up near Mount Stanley there's some good steep tracks. Nice little water crossing here. Deep and pretty manageable. Weather today was a bit sketchy. It started off sort of grey and overcast, and we had showers of rain throughout the day. As always, the video tends to flatten everything and really doesn't do it justice. This is a reasonably steep little climb. Still good traction at the time we were driving it. This one is actually a little steeper than the last one, but again, the video doesn't really do it justice. And this part of the forest, unlike much of the high country, as you can see, wasn't hugely affected by the bushfires. I think because of the proximity of the towns, the bushfires were kept from this area. Again, not coming out here, but those ruts were reasonably deep. And I wasn't sure how slippery this was going to be. As it turned out, again, plenty of traction. I think if we'd been a few hours later, when there'd been a bit more rain, it might have been a little more slippery, but on the day, nice climb. Great to be able to get out and about, at least in our local area, with all the lockdowns with COVID. I think the cameraman here thought I might have driven that rut on the left-hand side, but ended up taking the easy line. I'll leave that for someone else with bigger tyres. And starting at the bottom there, I wasn't even sure with that sort of small tree that's down on part of the track whether it was covering the track. It turns out it is literally just on the right hand side, but there's a few holes there. Nothing we couldn't drive through fairly comfortably though. So we've just been up to the top area where the Long Tom track ends, and now we're heading around to the Magic Forest, and the Raslar bar is about to earn its keep here again. There, if you saw that, good solid knockdown, some decent sized holes there that we're climbing through in the padge. Definitely designed probably for vehicles with larger tyres than what we're running. A bit of a choose your own adventure here. Now we did check the depth of these bog holes. The one on the right, I didn't feel like getting mud in the car or getting stuck when I got no one to help pull me out, we opted for that easier line. So I've driven this track here a couple of times, and again, it's steeper and rockier than it looks, and by this time it was pretty wet and slippery as well. I was actually more concerned than anything about sliding into that bank and getting some panel damage, but as you can see, it's held traction there quite comfortably, and no real issue. So that's the approach to the Magic Forest, which is a stand of imported Californian pines hidden away inside the bush and pine plantation. Just a short walk, and I've recorded most of this, and sorry for the sketchy camera angle and the Blair Witch feel to the recording here. I recorded this on my phone, so it is what it is, but it's a nice little walk, only a minute or two from where you park, and well worth the effort, pretty easy going. A fair few different approaches to the Magic Forest, but this is the main one. And just here where it looks like the track goes straight ahead, you actually swing to the right, and you can probably already see just up ahead there the change in the type of trees, the big black trunks, the Californian pines. At least I believe that's what they are. They certainly remind me of the Californian redwoods down in the Otways. Similar but not the same. Massively tall straight trunks. Not a huge area, but yeah, just amazing to visit. See some groups there have been busy building some little huts and teepees. There are a few mine shafts in this area as well, and yeah, from there we headed via the road through Beechworth and to Woolshed Falls. Having had a bit of rain recently, you can see there's plenty of water coming over the falls. That's probably the most water I've seen over Woolshed Falls. And this view is from the top of the falls. There's an easy walk down from the car park. There's no safety railings or anything, so if you do go and visit, just hang on to your kids. And that's the granite chute that was drilled by hand and exploded by dynamite to create an alternate watercourse that they could use to power wells and such things. And from Woolshed Falls, drive, mostly two-wheel drive roads, so if you're in the area, well worth checking out. Great piece of history. The dredge is an amazing structure. It's huge, built back in the 50s, if I recall correctly, and operated for about 18 years. Was run by 3 crews, 24 hours a day when it was operating, and essentially the pond that it's in today, it created itself, and it was moving through the area using scoops at the front to dig up the gravel, had its own sorting equipment on board for processing the ore, and the waste went out the back, so effectively it was digging and backfilling behind itself all in one motion, processing the ore at the same time. Just amazing. It's a huge structure. So yeah, if you're remotely near Eldorado, which is partway between Beechworth and Wangaratta. If you're on the Hume Freeway, it's probably 15 to 20 minutes drive. The scale of the thing is truly amazing. To think that this floated, you can see there's the kids. Included this clip just to give you a sense of scale in case you weren't too sure. So up in the top part there is where the scoops dumped the ore, and there was a barrel up there for sorting the smaller gravel and the larger gravel to get the gold out of it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. A little bit different. And as always, if you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel.